Hola amigos and possible amigos, my name is Taffrey16. Welcome back to another episode of Reading Your Comments, episode 186. We did not have an episode last week, so this will be more a super episode. It's from the videos not only from this past week, but the week before as well. It is Sunday, or maybe Saturday, that's the thing, if you're watching this daily on Patreon. For those that know, the Patrons have the options for as low as $1 or £1 to watch these Reading Your Comments, as well as the reaction videos up to a day early, sometimes more. With all that being said though, and regardless of what day it is, let's go ahead and read some comments. I was thinking about the Kitchen Nightmares, Gordon, Gino, and Fred copyright and thought it might have actually been an episode thing rather than it was actually changing fully. No, it changed fully. I get where you're coming from because with a lot of shows, it is based off episodes. Take Neighbours, which I did recently. Neighbours, the reason some of you might be wondering, well, why'd you have to edit out the theme song in the most recent episode you did when you didn't have to in the first episode you did? That's because in the first episode, the copyright claim was on the full episode itself. So it didn't really matter. With this recent episode I did, there's no copyright on the actual episode, just the theme song. So that's why. And copyright can change episode to episode depending on the show. So I get where you're coming from. That's not the case here. It's a simple matter of Little Dot Studios changed their policy when it comes to removing copyright claims. They did it for a solid 2 years, and really beginning in November of last year, they no longer do it. The reason I can get stuff on Outnumbered on YouTube now is I can no longer monetize the Outnumbered videos, but what they will do is they'll remove the country restriction. They'll remove, because usually it's blocked in the UK and Ireland, but they'll remove that for me, but I can't monetize it, so that's how Outnumbered works now. Same with most of the Peter K. Carshare episodes as well. Regarding the Rolf Harris thing, I don't know if this will change how you approach his presence in the Brass Eye episode, but they are making fun of him. I can't say more without spoiling it really, but it's not exactly supporting anything about him. I get where you're coming from, and yeah, you know, I get where you're coming from, but I'm still not gonna feature him. It's just not gonna happen. Apparently Gladiators is coming back only to be on the BBC. I heard about that. I remember I got a comment from somebody a little bit before this was announced. I guess I kind of knew in advance because I got a comment from someone who said that they had met Weininger, who had said that they were planning something really special for the 40th anniversary, and I guess this was that. Can we do Jonathan Creek and sack off Doctor Who because Doctor Who's the most overrated show ever? Well, we can do Jonathan Creek. It's on the request list and pretty high up there, so it'll definitely be done before the end of this year. I'm not going to sack off Doctor Who because I enjoy it, and if you don't, then just don't watch the reactions instead of bitching about it. No matter how dark Jam was, the music choices for each sketch were banging. Oh, the music choices made it better. Like, the music was key to every scene. It really is just great at enhancing just how fucked up the whole show is. Yeah, I found this Jam episode in some parts quite uncomfortable. It's a long sketch especially. This is an interesting one. Yeah, it's like they changed strategy for this one. Decided instead of doing a bunch of short sketches, let's just do a couple long, really uncomfortable ones. And it really paid off as far as being uncomfortable goes. Ever get the feeling that you're at the stage where you should stop watching and submit it for evidence instead? Well, you're the detective, you tell me. Great reaction again. I hope you're planning to do the 2 follow-on series of I'm Alan Partridge afterwards. Yeah, I forget. Do I have to? People told me that there is a definitive cross between Knowing Me, Knowing You, and I'm Alan Partridge. Don't tell me what it is, but you can tell me. Does it happen after episode 6, or does it happen after the Christmas special? Because that might determine when I do I'm Alan Partridge. I remember one of the policies at a Monster Raviolin party was help for asylum seekers. More signs showing the way to the asylum. That's really good. I dipped in and out of British Empire as a kid. I mainly watched it because Chris Berry is excellent. So lots of these are new to me. Great stuff, Noah. Yeah, I'm enjoying it, to be honest. It's I've talked about this before. But this show there's a number of BBC shows that were randomly kind of just forgotten by the BBC copyright-wise. Like, they didn't bother to put copyright claims on it. British Empire's one, Open All Hours is another, The Good Life kind of as well, a little bit with 2 Pints as well. It's very strange, but just some random shows they just didn't bother to copyright. Something a lot of people forget is that Last of the Summer Wine was all done by one man, Roy Clarke. He wrote 31 series over 37.5 years. During his time frame, he also wrote 4 series of Open All Hours and 5 series of Keeping Up Appearances. That's a colossal 40 series within his time frame. And in the words of Spike Mulligan collecting his Lifetime Achievement Award, he did it all on his own. Yeah, I mean, that is a tremendous accomplishment. That's got to be one of the biggest accomplishments, really, in the history of television. And you're right. I mean, you don't often think about it, but when you come to appreciate it, like thinking about it on that scale, like that man really held it down. To do that for 40 years, too. Like, well, sorry, 37 and a half years. 40 series of 37 and a half years. Like, but, I mean, you get what I'm going with. I mean, some people would get burned out long before then. You know, it also just shows the passion for what he did as well. I think Last of the Summer Wine was perfect for Sunday evenings, very chilled out, relaxing, gentle comedy that you could watch if you're grand. That's a good way of putting it. It was very relaxing. Like, it's not often a theme I get on this channel. I'm not sure if it's a theme I'd ever gotten before watching that, but it's just really just calming. It's just bros being bros and just hanging out. Really enjoyed seeing you do Last of the Summer Wine, but can offer no explanation as to how that driving simulator machine and the new mobile trio is supposed to work. Yeah, me neither. Damn newfangled video games. The guy with the mustache in Last of the Summer Wine played the Chief Warden in A Clockwork Orange. I love that guy. Oh man. Yeah, I put that together afterwards too. That's a hell of a film, let me tell you. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. If you have not seen A Clockwork Orange, how can I put this? I would recommend it, but also it's very graphic. Like, you'll get what I mean when you see it. But like, if movies that are very graphic aren't your thing, then that movie's probably not going to be your thing. If you can handle that, then I definitely recommend checking it out. Do you watch What We Do in the Shadows? If not, that's another great Matt Berry character. Is House of Fools on your list at all? I don't think House of Fools is on the list now. What We Do in the Shadows, I've seen the commercials for, but I've not actually seen that either, no. Crazy, I was literally thinking a few minutes ago, I hope Taft does another Shooting Stars video, but this is even better. I could do Shooting Stars as well. I mean, the last episode was pretty good. Send me episode recommendations for Shooting Stars. I'm down to do more of it. It's commonly said that Sinead O'Connor is difficult or self-obsessed. What's less often mentioned is that she had an abusive childhood, suffers with bipolar disorder, and has suffered a mental breakdown to the point of attempting suicide several times. Which is not to say she's defined by those things, it just makes me a little sad when people criticize her attitude. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's just the reality of how people were perceived. Most people don't dig deeper. They just look at what they see projecting, and they're like, oh, that must be who that person is. It's not fair, but that's just how most people perceive people. And now it's time for a new feature on reading your comments, our Dumbest Comment of the Last 2 Weeks award. Yay! This week's Dumbest Comment of the Last 2 weeks goes to Carl Roberts, who said, "Why censor things? We aren't children," in refraining to a scene of flashing lights, which I cut out because it would have been really bad for people with epilepsy. We aren't children has nothing, not a damn thing in the entire world to do with pertaining to flashing lights. If you think protecting people from epilepsy is childing them, then you're an idiot. to put it very bluntly, if you think trying to protect people with epilepsy is childing them, you are an idiot. If you're into the music on the show, there's actually a Bob and Paul Gone Fishing playlist on Spotify. Thank you very much. I will look into that. I enjoyed this, beautifully filmed and very relaxing. I'm not interested in fishing, but I enjoyed listening to Paul and Bob chatting and reminiscing. I mean, that sums up my feelings too. I don't give a shit about fishing either. It seems relaxing. I've never fished personally, although it seems fun. But I mean, they just have such a wholesome friendship, and it's just fun listening to them talk. It's like Last December Wine in the sense that it's just bros being bros. If you enjoyed the vibe of Mortimer Whitehouse Gone Fishing, you will love the Detectorists. I'm not sure if I've seen that, but this was not the only comment that mentioned that show, so maybe I can look into it. Mr. Bean from 1995 would be a really good watch, only 14 episodes and 20 minutes per episode. I actually did 2 episodes, one in Christmas of last year and one in January, and I will be doing more soon. Are You on Glue has been part of my vocabulary ever since I first saw this episode of Peter K's Car Share. There are so many opportunities to use it too. There really are, to be honest. Honestly, I should start using that against some comments I get. The dry heaving at the end of the call in Car Share is next level. I think that's maybe why it was so funny. It was just such legitimate disgust on Peter's face. It was fucking great. I actually really liked the ending to episode 11 of Car Share. I thought it was pretty realistic, where someone wanted so much to be with someone but never had the balls to just let go until the other person that it really felt. I tend to like tragic endings though, so I might be in the minority. A great reaction, can't wait to see the real finale tomorrow. Yeah, you know, I get where you're coming from. I absolutely get where you're coming from. But I was gonna be mad as hell if that's how it ended. I'm not gonna lie. There's a time for tragic endings, and in my opinion, that show was not it. I'm glad we got the wholesome ending. Others may correct me, but I can't recall ever seeing you get disinvested in a TV couple before, like in Car Share. This was originally the ending of the show. As I understand it, there may have been plans to have it return eventually, but there's an online petition for a third series, which may or may not have hastened that. Yeah, it was so well done. It was really so well done. I'm honestly a little bit crushed that it's over. Like, I think, as far as me finishing a show, I think Father Ted's ending is still what hit me the hardest, but that's definitely a close second. Do you plan on, would you do more Horrible Histories? Don't know. I did Horrible Histories a very, very long time ago. There's a good chance a lot of you didn't even know that I did that. It was a very long time ago. But maybe. It's a possibility. There's an audio special of Car Share if you can find it. I did find it. Well, Quaid found it. Thank you, Quaid, for finding it for me. There was no real copy of it on YouTube, which surprised me because I uploaded it to check it, and there's not really any copyright on it, so I'm surprised nobody had uploaded it. Car Share is the best thing Peter Kay has made outside of stand-up, in my opinion. I agree. Like, I loved all the other shows he did, that Peter Kay thing, Phoenix Nights, Max and Patty, all that, but yeah, Car Share definitely takes a kick. Craig Charles is currently hosting Moneybags, a quiz show on Channel 4. There's a celebrity edition, might be of interest to you. I didn't know he was still hosting stuff, to be honest with you. That is of interest to me. Next episode of Robot Wars is V-Robot. V-Robot, huh? Okay, you have my interest. These next two comments are some backstory and some spoilers for Neighbours. Usually I'm 100% not down with being spoiled for plots, but Neighbours is a bit different considering there's 10 bajillion episodes. So I'm definitely down to learn context when it comes to soap operas. So Paul and Gail were business partners who pretended they were getting married to secure a client. However, things got out of hand and they got married and had to keep up the charade for their family. That's why they were in separate bedrooms. The Scott and Charlene marriage was heavily packaged romance that got all the kids swooning when they found out the actors were dating in real life. This gave them both musical careers. They even sung a duet together, Especially for You. Side note, the wedding song became iconic, and every time they had an argument and got back together, it would be played. That sounds hilarious, actually. Just every time they fight, the fucking song comes in. Oh my god, that sounds funny as hell. Miss Mangle, the purple lady in Neighbours, took a bump off the ladder the Hardys and Edge and Christian would have been proud of. Don't forget the Dudleys. Would have been proud of while helping to decorate Des and Daphne's nursery, hence the lawsuit. She suffered amnesia from the bump and lost 2 years from her memory. Wait, so she was suing them? Even did they accidentally knock her off the ladder, or did she just fall? Because if she just fell, unless the wall and the ladder wasn't faulty and they didn't knock her off, that's her fucking problem. They wouldn't have dared to do something to mess up the wedding episode in Neighbours. There would have been riots in the street. The episode was huge at the time. It was all we talked about in school. I just figured something would happen because it was a fucking soap opera and stuff always happens. I was waiting for the fucking Taliban to come through the ceiling or something. You should review every episode of Neighbours. That would probably take me to the end of time. I mean, it's gonna take me forever to do Doctor Who. Even with the new format I have, Neighbours would probably still take me to like 2035 or some shit. Alright, y'all, that's gonna do it for a supersized episode of reading your comments. So, since this is from the last 2 weeks, there's a lot of different videos comments were pulled from this. The comments in this video were pulled from the following. You ready? Reading your comments 185, Jam 5, Knowing Me and Knowing You with Alan Partridge 5, British Empire 4, Last of the Summer Wine complete first series, Toast to London 2, Mortimer and White House Gone Fishing, Bang Bang It's Reeves and Mortimer, Peter K. Car Share 10, 11, and 12, Robot Wars 15, and Neighbours 2. Those are the videos where the comments were pulled from this video. If you want a chance to get your comment read next week, the videos to comment on are as follows. This video, the reaction video that came out yesterday, the one that comes out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you want a chance to get your comment read next week, then those are the videos to comment on. But that is going to do it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to leave it a like. If you didn't like it, then don't. If you want to follow any of my social media links, my Twitch, where I stream every single day, my second channel for streaming videos, my Twitter. If you want to follow me on my Patreon, if you want to support me on my daily motion, all those things are in the video description down below. Thank you again to all my patrons who are currently named in the video description for your constant support me on my channel. For those who don't know, you can be Patreon me for as little as $1 or £1, and you get access to reaction videos as well as reading your comments up to a day early, and you get your name in the description as well. For all that being said, though, my name is Taffrey16. It's been episode 186 of Reading Your Comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.